널 기다렸어.
It's changing all the time.
Yep. All right, let's get into this game. Ragnarok against Stats. Stats with a really kick-ass Pro League record, I have to say.
He hasn't played as many games as someone like
Hero or
Zest.
Maru.
And Maru's played 11, so they're sitting at equal there. But Zest and Hero, these guys have come out more often. Zest kind of the ace player for KT, so it does make sense. Ragnarok, he's been struggling in Pro League. He had that one good run in the SSL Season 1.
As actually everyone's predicting Stats. He was the cross-final winner, beating Dark in that final, so no surprises that Stats is the favorite in this matchup.
Yeah, especially up against Ragnarok. But let's see what's going to happen here. Can Stats bring it to that ace match on Dust Towers? Up here in the top right in the red from KT Rolster, another Protoss player. It is Stats.
And spawning here at the bottom left. Yellow Zerg for ZJ, it's Ragnarok. I was just looking at Stats' face and he's got like all these stickers, well not stickers, but like band-aids all over his face.
That just gives me a visual of him with, you know, those stickers you used to get at like the doctor's office when you were a kid.
Hey, it's like, you took an injection quite well.
It's like, well done.
Well
He just
done.
like has that plastered on his forehead.
And he's got like a lollipop in his mouth as well.
The baby toss.
Baby Toss. There was actually a player called Baby Toss. No, Baby Knight.
Baby Knight.
Yeah.
And he played Protoss,
Yeah,
I
he
assume?
did, yeah.
Yeah.
Ex-Dota player from Denmark. If you're watching, shout out to you. As we see here, once again, the harassment.
Oh!
But he's going to just take the back base, so...
Yeah.
Not as big of a deal as it was in that ace match between Patience and Dark.
Which is generally why you don't see this too often. Zergs, if they are going for 3 bases, they want to get the outside one first. Just, you know, vision, creep, all the stuff we always talk about. But forced to take that back base, I suppose that's the reason he wanted to send out that probe, make sure that he could get that down here.
Yeah, that's not going to really affect the overall outcome of this game too much. It's not like a game breaker or anything like that. And we see Stats going for the back expansion of his own, also the Cybernetics core. Nothing crazy at all coming from Stats.
Okay, Nexus core.
Oh, it might be able to deny this third base, actually. It's just scooting behind the drone.
This is so annoying.
It's skitching, I guess.
Skitching?
You know when you're on a skateboard and you just hold the back of the car? Is that called skitching?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I played a lot of...
I'll take your word for it.
I play a lot of Tony Hawk's Underground, and that's one of the main ways you can get around is by skitching. But this probe's actually on very low HP. It's just regenerating shields right now, but couldn't deny the third base, so it's just gonna browse around the main base of Ragnarok.
It's going to be a longer, drawn-out game from here. I remember just the earlier times of Legacy of the Void in ZVT where we just see Niduses all the time.
Especially
all
from
day,
Ragnarok.
every day. Yeah.
Ragnarok was like the guy that you'd associate with Nidus.
Exactly. That's why, you know, just seeing his face, I immediately think of Nidus.
Like,
he did win a bunch of games. Didn't he beat Innovation? Was that him?
in the SSL.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, let's make SSL double elimination.
Yeah. And I know some people were unhappy about that, but seems like they've redeemed themselves with the really cool format they have for Challenger, at least.
With all those away cheeses.
Yeah. I wish we saw more of them, man.
Yeah. Quick speed here from Ragnarok. So...
Double speed, we can call it.
Double speed, yep.
Link speed and Overlord speed.
He's high on speed right now.
Yeah, that he is.
He's going to drop that tumor, trying to connect that main base with the third. And looks like Stats is posturing to go for a very, 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 very quick third base with this Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the quickest third base in the world, but it's very quick,
and it's
as
very
you were
safe.
saying.
It's very safe as well because the map's so large that the only thing that could punish it would be Nidus play, but I don't think I'm going to be seeing any Nidus play here today from Ragnarok.
Or like only Lings.
Oh, like a
Ling.
yeah, I saw that a lot yesterday from Pet.
Yeah. Thankfully, we don't see that here.
Oh, these Adepts could have been surrounded, but it looks like the Shade has been activated. It's gonna... What the hell?
Oh, he wants to just be a bit safe, and he's going to find these Adepts.
He has a nice Nook, though, so it's going to mitigate a lot of that Zergling damage.
Yeah.
And he's going to Shade away.
Don't even
Oh, he
commit to
cancelled
that.
it. Cancelled it.
Yeah, no need to go over there. He's found his little nook.
Yeah, there's no need for Ragnarok to face that battle, because there's not really a threat that they're providing on the map right now. They're just sitting there. There's no absolute need to get rid of them from Ragnarok.
So the only close Overlord there, outside the one that scouted the base earlier, did go down. And now, look at this.
4th base here from Ragnarok, so I think we're going to see a very long game.
Yeah, and I like this too. When the Protoss goes Phoenixes on a map this large, you're like, well, I can take this for free. You don't even necessarily need to saturate it super early, even though you probably are going to, just because of the very passive build from the Protoss. It's just good to get that out really quickly. Helps your production, gets your economy nice and beefy early on, gets it before the lair.
Yeah, I mean, I like what Ragnarok's doing, because those Phoenixes aren't going to be really doing... They're not going to change the game right now. They're not going to kill you off, so they're just floating around the map trying to kill any Overlords that are just out of position. And yeah, we're going to see a very long game here.
At least for now. We do see the forts coming down here from Stats, as well as all the other techs. That's pretty indicative of, yeah, let's just move on. Let's tech up. Let's go into that later game. If he was instead, you know, getting a faster Twilight and adding like 6 gates, well, that would be a Phoenix Adept all-in, perhaps. But this is definitely looking like a much longer game. Nice. Sniping a Queen.
Yeah, nice pick off there. Sniping that Queen. It's actually sniping a few drones out of range of that Spore Crawler. And he's just regathering his Phoenixes.
Yeah, it looks like he only... No, he does have 5. I was thinking he actually only committed to 4, which is, you know, generally 5 is the money number.
Yeah, the money number.
For Phoenixes.
The Fibonacci number.
Fibonacci ratio determines that you should go for that. Makes sense.
Hydrogen down is actually getting double Hydrogen, and the idea behind it is that you morph one into a Lurkaden, and then with the other one you just get consistent upgrades from. So with these Lurkers coming out from Ragnarok, it definitely suggests that he wants to split the map and try and take as many bases as he can and force Stats to make an error that will win him the game.
He's finally get cleaned up.
Oh no! Womp womp.
Gets an extra kill.
And he sees the Lurkaden being morphed. Not a big deal though. He probably had an idea that this was going to happen, considering the fact that Ragnarok did play against Stork a few days ago. A lot of VODs for Stats and the coaching staff for KT to work with.
That is true. He's getting his charge and all the necessary techs out here and other robotics for double Immortal production, the Templar Archives for Archons. And this is a very standard, straightforward PvZ, pretty passive, not too much action so far. And it's really going to come down to how these guys engage and what these Warp Prism harasses can do for Stats.
It looks like this Warp Prism is going to be the first real damage or potential damage that we could see here in this game. But the Hydras are out, and that aren't being morphed into Lurkers, so if Ragnarok plays his out right, he could catch this Warp Prism off guard. Just have to wait and see.
Drew Spine's been finishing up, and the drop attempting at the 3rd base. I think he should have just gone straight for the back door here, which he does.
He's going to try and snipe as many drones as possible until these Hydralisks do come to that back base. And he has to scoot out. There's no way he's going to be able to do any much more damage with those Hydralisks just skirting across the edge.
Gonna pop in here, get another couple of kills at the 4th. Keeps that Phoenix alive with 1 health.
Yeah, a very, very passive game that we're seeing here from both players. As Stats looks like he's going to try and take his 4th base of his own, but he's actually going to go for the high ground rather than the one at the lower ground.
It's a good idea. Yeah. You don't want to have those annoying lurkers on the high ground attacking your stuff.
Yeah. And it's like in any RTS game, it's always good to have the higher ground advantage rather than the lower ground advantage. So we should see Ragnarok take his own 5th base soon. Oh, whoa.
Okay, we
Whoa.
got 5 drop overlords, and he already has the speed. It looks like he's going to try to do a doom drop into the main.
Okay, this is the first new thing that we've seen in this game.
Ragnarok.
And the thing is, how many Phoenixes does Stats have?
I think he's got 5 still.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough to deal with his Overlord drop.
They're not even in position. He has no idea about this. Who would ever expect this?
Yeah.
It's just a Ling drop, and the majority of his army is over here.
Oh,
Stats
nice
should be able
storms,
to
though.
clean this one up.
He's going to
Storms.
clean this up, but the question is, how much damage will this Ling drop do? He needs to do critical damage because he lost a lot of those Lurkers. He's lost a lot of these Hydralisks as well. Stats can just do a counterattack right now and win the game if this Ling drop does not do damage.
Here comes the Ling drop into the main. That's 4 overlords full of speedlings right now. They don't have those upgrades, but look at the army of Stats. It's totally out of position. He has to rely on overcharges, warp-ins back at home.
I think we're going to see a mini base race here. The Banelings are out here for Ragnarok, though. If he gets good detonations onto those Zealots, he could defend from this. Nice Storms, though.
Storm's going to clean up everything in the front.
Archon's here as well, so these Zerglings are pretty much moot. Oh, there's 6 Storms as well, and there's nowhere for Ragnarok to move.
Lifts on the Lurkers, too, just to make sure he wins this fight as cleanly as possible.
The question is, how much damage has this Zergling drop at the
boy.
main base?
The drones can't get out. They can't get out from this location, and there's only Lings in the main.
He's cleaned it up. This game.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, there's not even Lings in the main.
Yeah.
So, with that, it looks like Stats is going to take that game. It was a cool idea.
Looks like we're going to go to an ace match.
Yeah, there we go. So we're going to go straight up the ramp here. Make sure that is it, and GG. Stats, as we expected, takes the win up against Ragnarok.
I think Ragnarok played that drop out pretty badly. He should have just waited until those Zerglings dropped onto the main and then forced the army to draw away to the main base and then attack that 4th base of Stats.
Definitely agree with you.
It's a good idea in theory, but it was just poorly executed.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you there. I mean, you want to drop it, draw some units away so that you have a much bigger attack. You take out the Protoss' 4th base, and you have your 5th base up, and then you're in a fantastic position. It would have been very hard for Stats to even, bring back a bunch of Zealots to go into the main, because he needed some of those Zealots to deal with the Lurkers back at the main attack.
Yeah. This is now Ace Match Saturday, I guess.
Yep,
as
there we go.
The players that we don't expect take it to the Ace Match.
So, does MC come out here?
I really want to see MC, but I think it's just too risky for CJ. You have to send out Hero or Bjorn.
I don't know, MC looked pretty good.
He looked really good.
But
the thing is, how is his PVT? Because I think for KT, it'll be TY.
I kind of agree with you there. Zest has not been looking the best in PvP nowadays, and with the high probability that Hero or MC is going to be the choice here for CJ Anzus, I think you want to send out TY.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah, so I definitely think for KT, it will be TY. For CJ, I'm leaning 70-30 Hero and MC, but we'll just have to wait and see how this pans out.
And no spoilers once again.
Yes, no spoilerinos.
Because we're up on stage, we can see exactly who's coming out. And all I'll say is that it's an interesting result.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. You guys have to wait until we get the reveal.
Yep.
Of course, now that we're on stage, just as I was saying, we see them as they walk up here.
Yep.
So it's no longer a surprise for us, unfortunately.
It's a surprise for you guys at home, though.
Yeah. I remember in the past, we used to actually look down and not spoil it for us. Yeah.
Just cover your face and then...
Maybe we can do that starting from tomorrow. Not sure if Tasis would be up for it. I'll ask him.
You can hide his face, he can hide yours. Or you can just have blindfolds on.
Yeah, we got to have our Ace Match blindfolds prepared for tomorrow. Well, here we go. The 2 Ace Match players coming in.
You can probably see their outlines.
Who's it going to be? Stats versus Hero.
Yep, the 2 winners of today will be facing in the Ace Match. And I completely forgot about Stats. I mean, Stats is looking at that top tier level with Hero. Oh, well, not with Hero, with like Zest and all those other Protoss players.
Hero actually looked really unhappy. He shook his hand, and then when he turned around, he grimaced, and then did that thing where you squeeze your nose to relieve pressure. So there you have it. It's going to be Stats versus Hero, another PvP, and we'll be back for this Ace Match after 10 minutes.